Hey everybody, this is Larry, this is me going Q3 of the weekly contest 428. Spoiler alert. Count beautiful splits in an array. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord, let me know what you think about this one. I think this one, first of all, is a terrible constraint problem. I think Leetcode kind of messed up here for sure. And why I say that is because I believe, unless I'm really wrong, it's possible I'm wrong, but from what I can tell, n is 5,000, and the intended solution, or at least the solutions that I could come up with, is all 5,000. And if it's n log n, then if there is an n log n solution, fine. But it's also weird, even in that case, because n squared works in a lot of languages, but also not in a lot of languages, but not all languages, right? And that's the part that it's like, like where you get to a point where constants matter even if you do n squared, because I've seen Python could do it with n squared, but it really depends on how your constants, which it really shouldn't be. This should be on time complexity, not just like, constant optimizations. So Leetcode, I think, just like really messed up on this problem, honestly. But otherwise, I think the idea is pretty yeah, there are a couple of ways to think about this. The way that I did it, it's going to be a little bit different from the other ones that I've seen. There are a lot of n squared type things where you just kind of get, there are a lot of different ways to pre-process this array, such that you have there are n squared subarrays or n choose 2 subarrays, right? And you pre-process them in some way so that you could do if statements, really. So that's really all this problem is. And yeah, and there's just got a couple of ways to do it. Like, for example, rolling hash, I've been told there's a way to make it work. There's like like you can maybe do dynamic programming or something if n was not 5,000 and stupid. Yeah, so there are things you can do, and then once you do that, you all you have to do is just check, whether they're inside some other things, right? I mean, the prefix, and then as long as you're able to do prefix lookups in all of one time, or the longest prefix lookup in all of one time, then you should be good. Because then now it keeps up being n squared, because n squared just allows you to, after you pre-process, you could do all of one queries, then you're fast enough. But again, this is not easy, and it already not easy, but it's also magnified by the fact that Leetcode is silly. So it's only like as of right now, maybe I'll refresh it, hang on. Okay, 700, which is not a lot for a problem that should have been maybe much, like I feel like if n was like 1,000, then a lot more people would have gotten it. I don't know why this is the way that it is. It is kind of terrible with rolling hash and Marvin crop. But yeah, I'll show you my way that I solved it. And honestly, I solved it in Java by using ChatGPT to convert my code from Python to Java. So I don't know, however you want to take that, it is what it is. Because it just didn't work. Yeah. So I do use the way that I did it. I did this here for stress. Oh no, this is. Oh no, did I? Well, I had this code in Python actually. Did I? Let me. Hang on. Okay, I did have the code in Python. I don't know why I closed it. Hang on. Sorry, friends. Technical difficulties. But luckily I did post it, so yeah. So okay, so this is my Python code. My apologies. Well, but I did convert it to Java, which should be mostly the same. Otherwise, I don't know, I got lucky and it got accepted. But yeah, but it does based off this thing called set function. And I'm not going to go over set function in this problem. You can Google it really quickly. It doesn't really come up that often, except for maybe it does on Leetcode, because Leetcode is silly, but it doesn't really come up in interviews, for example. And the thing that C function does is that, so you have set sub I is equal to the longest, how many characters starting from ith matches the prefix, right, of the string. So that means that if you have like an array like 1 1 1 2 3 1 1 or something like this, I don't know, right? The first index is trivially, the entire array. This one because starting from here, 1 1 matches the prefix, so it's going to be 2. This is going to be 1 as a result, 0 0, and then this is also going to be 2 and then 1, right? So that's kind of the idea, and from that, hopefully, if you haven't solved it, take a pause. Maybe copy some code off the internet for Z function. I don't know Z function that well, honestly, so I'm not going to explain it. I'm not going to try. But let's say you're able to use this as a black box. See if you could solve the problem with n square thing. That's what I would say. So yeah. So if you've done that, then here, all of the first of all is that okay, we want to count the number of things where n1 prefix n2, and this is actually pretty straightforward, which is that if z sub I, which means the characters matching the prefix, is greater than I, meaning the actual prefix, right? And then we do this thing. And what this is saying is really just practically, what this is saying practically is just that, let's say you have, I don't know, again, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, right? Over here, the prefix match is going to be 6 5 4 3 2 1 or something like that, right? So yeah, because it matches the entire prefix. So in here, what this means is that okay, well, we know that at this index we have 4 characters going to the right that will match the prefix, but we only have 3 characters on the left. So that means that if we start a string from this location, we will match the prefix. So this is what this is saying. Or this is what this one is saying, and this total is just to count out the number of possibilities. Because, for example, in this case, right, if you kind of divide this, let's say you divide it here, whoops, then now you can choose to include a 1 or not including a 1. So there are flexibilities on how you can do it. Or actually, in this case, I lied because you have to do a nums3. So sorry. So this. But for example, let's add another 1 for fun, right? So this is a possible thing, but also this is a possible division, right? Because yeah, you can have 4 1s in the middle because 3 1s are on the left and 1 1 on the right. So and this basically gets capsulated in this thing where you're forced to have at least 1 item to the right, and then like it's just about how far you can extend based on the thing, right? And yeah, because I is the size of the prefix in this case, so that means that we subtract the prefix, subtract the prefix, and then now you're left with the number of choices that you can make. So this is n1 is the prefix of n2, right? And then now this is right, and yeah, and here we just kind of have to think it through. We run the same set function starting with this offset from num sub I. So basically just from that beginning and then just do the math that way. And again, this is just a regular J loop. This part is the same idea as in part 1. So that means that if starting from character I, meaning nums2 starts at character 9, nums2 starts at character I, and then if if there are enough, so that means that if we have J characters, then this should be good. But we want to, so this other thing just make sure that we don't double count, right? Because if we double count, then it is no bueno. Yeah. And what I mean by that is that this is n2 is the prefix of n3, and n2 n1 is not the prefix of n2 is basically what this part is saying. Again, yeah, this part is relatively easy, but it's also easy to double count. And also in this case, if you kind of just think it out, well, we have n2 and we have n3, and n3 has to encapsulate everything, so that's why there's only 1 choice, right? So you only add it by 1, but it has to be that n1 is not the prefix of n2, starting from I, right? And there are only 2 scenarios. One is that if I is greater than z sub I, that means that it just didn't match the prefix with enough characters, so we're happy there. And this one is just it does match the prefix, but we only use a subset, meaning that if n2 is small enough, then we don't have it wouldn't match the prefix of n1, right? Meaning that, for example, maybe an example could be let me think first. Like, yeah, 1111, right? And then you want to split it by like 111 or 11, right? And then the last one will be or maybe I'll just add another few ones so that's more clear. So then like maybe the n2 would be 11, and then n3 could be 113, right? So here we only use 2 of these. So even though in theory, or maybe you could even add a couple more ones, so that in theory, starting from here, there's 6, right? So this actually matches the prefix, right? But we only use 2 of these, then we're good because n1 is not the prefix of n2. So that's basically the idea behind this one. And that's pretty much all I have for this one. Yeah. Here's the set function in case you want it, but this is, I think I honestly, I mean, this is just from my library. It's one of the few things that I have in the library because I don't want to learn set function. But I think, honestly, I probably copied from ChatGPT a long time ago. So, I don't know. And actually, I rewrote this to accommodate for offset. The reason why I want to do that is just so that I don't have to allocate, I don't know, I guess it doesn't matter because I do allocate memory. Maybe I should have been a little bit cleaner actually, but yeah, but that's really the idea for this one. And yeah, that's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. And oh yeah, the set function is O of n, so this is O of n, right? This is O of n, this is O of n, so this makes it already n squared, but this is another length of O of n, so, but yeah, everything's n squared, so yeah. In Java it is fast enough, in Python it is not. If you're curious about my Java code, here's my Java code. Again, this part is just the set function, same thing, right? Pause a second in case you want to, take a note. But this is the rest of the code, which also it's very easy to translate, honestly. But I asked ChatGPT so that it could be done a little bit faster. I don't know. But yeah, but that is all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and yeah, you could watch me solve it live during the contest next. Just turn on. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't 100% confident on that one. I'm a little bit slow today. All right, let's go. Q3. Not the way nums 3 arrays. Subway nums is the prefix of sub, or number of ways you can make this split. What is n? N is 5,000 actually. Not the biggest. 50 is also maybe interesting. 16 people got it already now. What is this? A 5-pointer? And then we have an 8-pointer. Okay. How many people got the Q4 yet? No one yet. So this is gonna be a rough one because I'm a little bit slow. Okay. How do you even think about this? Brief. Inclusion, exclusion. Man, how do 17 people got it already? Smart people, smarty pants. 50 seems like it could be an interesting thing. You can't even get like I mean, we need the Z matrix thing, right? How many? I'm trying to find my Z function thing. Okay. Okay, so why do that? So we have a Z function. Then now, oops, right, from my library of whatever, right? So when we have just nums, I think this works on a thing. Sorry. What the... Okay, so 4, this is 1. Is that good enough? So 0, 0 is no good. I mean, obviously. Okay, so what does this tell me? If I have this z function, then now this one. We can calculate the z function for each prefix, maybe, because it's 5,000, maybe, which is actually pretty sketch. But yeah, but this means that what? Well, this over. So every time that there's a prefix here, it means that we don't even care about 3, right? So let's just ignore the 2 and 3 for now. How do we care about? So we want to count all of them, but then inclusion, exclusion. Is that the way to do it? So okay, so if this is a 1, it means that the rest. No. What does this 1 mean? This 1 means that nums2 could have 1 length, or 2 length, or well, cannot have 3 length because it doesn't have all 3. People are getting it though, so I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, I guess that's fine, right? Well, it just has to have 1 character, right? So you count the number of things from that, and that's fine, right? Nums1 is a prefix of nums2. Okay, that means that we can start from here, and if it's a 1, then that means that we can start from here. Okay, that's fine, except for the last one, I suppose, because it has to be nums3. Okay, so if we only care about that, then we're done, right? In theory. But how do we care about nums2 and 3 without doing it? I mean, I guess n squared has to be it, right? I don't know, is that too slow? Nums only go up to 50. I don't know if I can use that much. Honestly, like maybe we can exploit that somehow. I don't know. Okay, wait, that's not quite right. Okay, so what I said was not correct. So this is 1 because this is 1 length before that. So that means that this has to, if you will start from here, this has to be a 2, right? Still relatively easy to do, or easy to calculate. What would the 2 mean? The 2 means is it's starting from here, right? Okay, yeah. So this number is equal to the length of nums1, then that's good. Okay. How do we do it for nums3, 2 and 3? Is anything symmetry? No. So okay, so you do that prefix and then you go, okay, this 1, and you link 2. Okay, well, I just want to see how fast this n squared thing is. Right, so nums is equal to, it doesn't really matter. right? Yeah, I mean that part is expected maybe. And then now, yeah. Well, something like that. Is that too slow? Well, too much output, but which is probably fair. This feels too slow though, really. Only 5,000 cases. 6 seconds, n square. It's still faster. I don't even know if this is like a Python thing. I'm gonna try it. Okay. Convert this to Java, please. Okay, let's see how fast it is in Java. I actually don't know if this is fast enough. That's why I'm like exploring a little bit. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. How do I even write this? I don't even remember how anymore. It is so stupid. I just want to I just want to see if this is fast enough. Oh, they converted the set function to a string. Which is actually annoying, because that actually slows it down. I don't need this to be a string. But it is pretty fast in Java if it's 5,000 square. Leetcode, why are you making people do this? Why are you making people, like, why is it so much faster in Java than whatever? Like, this is kind of stupid sick, actually. Right, like, this is not even close in running time. Look at this. This is fast. If we were able to kind of do it in Java instead. And probably C++ is the same, I guess. Humphreys got this now on 55. I mean, this is kind of silly, I think. But okay, focus. We're just doing Python and then we'll convert later. Yeah, we'll just convert it later. Okay, let's think, right? So we have this. So let's pretend that this is fast enough, right? I don't know. Is it fast enough if I did this? Is it because of the slicing? No, it's still it's so slow. 6 seconds is just too slow. I don't know if this is a smarter way, but this is linear, so it's not like I could be that much faster. Okay. Let's say we are given this though. How do I solve it? So we get the nums1 and nums2 part, nums2 and 3. We don't care about nums1 in that case, right? Okay, so then now, I mean, it even times out. Well, maybe it should anyway, because it takes the entire nums n times, but that's fine. Like, but that's terrible that it I have to use Python with this. Okay, so yeah, okay, so p is equal to whatever the base. So then now we have this thing, right? So you have count. Yeah, okay, so then total is equal to 0. Right, so then now if say z of I is equal to, or if z of I is greater than or equal to I, if 0, then you have 0, 1. If I is 1, then yeah. If I is 2, then you have the prefix of 2. No, that's right. Okay. Then now total is equal to, just starting from here, and then we could take. Is it just that simple? No, it's right. So it has to be, the length has to be the prefix. So it's going to be I plus 1 is the length of the prefix. And then the flexibility is just, this is so hard, or annoying anyway. N minus this, minus 1 maybe, I think. Right, let's try on the first one, okay. 3, 2, okay, I mean this is way wrong, but that's fine. How is it 3, 2 though? Did I just do a math wrong, or? Makes sense. Oh, because we do the 0. Whoops. So we have to count from 1 for maybe obvious reasons. Okay, 1, 0. That is actually better. Maybe it's wrong, but it's better. Yeah, I don't know. It's that much better, but it's still wrong. Okay, so it's 1, 2, right? So that means that it should be 1 here, and then at the 2. No, this should be 2 because that's 2 degrees of freedom, right? So you're at index I. You're the prefix. Okay, so the length is going to be I plus 1. You have not n. N is not right. Is it? It's like this minus I plus 1 or something again. That's not right either. What is it? Okay, so let's say you have 1, 1. Okay, so you have 1, and so the length of is I plus 1, which is no. The length is I because we no, the length is I. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think we're right here then. The length is I, and then we're good, right? Okay, so the length is I. As a result, we take away that from the degree of freedom, and then I feel like I'm off by 1 somehow though. Okay, so this has 1 length, so we take away 2, so now we have 2. So yeah, so we have 2 characters left of freedom. That means you have 2 choices. Okay, actually I think I'm okay on this one. So those are okay. P1 and P2 or something, or num1 and num2. Num1 prefix num2, something like that. And then now we have to do num2 prefix num3, which is very annoying. Right, so something like z function num sub I Maybe I can modify this. This is a little bit awkward. Because we're allocating n square space, that's also why it's taking time. How do I do a fast thing? I guess there's no real way, it's just offset, right? So then now, whatever, get on my minus offset, and then we should be good. It's gonna be okay. So the no, I is fine. But it's only when it references s, right? So this is this plus offset. Right. So is this better? I mean, this is fast, but is it fast when you have still no, it seems like. It takes too long. I mean, 7.3 seconds is horrific. We'll have to. Okay, fine. Fine. But what does this mean? Okay, it means that we do another expensive loop here. From right, if Zn sub I is, or j in this case now, if this is greater than j, then total minus j by the same logic, right? No, well, maybe that's fine. Oh no, this isn't right because you have to consume the entire thing, right? So that's not right. So it's just length. It's just one. Is it just one? It seems like it should be just one, but I feel like I need a thing here. That's not even right. How do I do it? So here, yeah, maybe I don't know. The first number doesn't matter. So then now you want prefix of like . Okay, then. Oh, I still have this thing. Yeah. Okay, so the answer is 2. Is that right? Yeah, I think this is 1, and then is there 2? Oh, 5 1 1 1. Okay, so that's 2. But then now we have to get rid of double counting, right? So the double counting case would be something like just this. Actually, what would that return? It should be only 1. Right? One way to make this split, because there's only one possible way. So then now, how do I check? Right? So we only double count if this is okay, j is offset of I. So that means that if if set of I has to be less than I, otherwise you're just double counting. It's not quite that simple though, because there's still a thing where the length matters. So, yeah. How do you check the length matters? So, okay. So if okay, slow down. Okay, so we check whether there are prefixes with this. That's fine. Okay, so that means that, okay, so let's say the length of part 2 is 5, right? And so that means that we still want it? Length is j, that means that j is the prefix on part 2. Okay, so yeah, so this means that j is the length, so it has to be, so j is the length, right? So if z sub I is if j is it's either one way or the other, I feel like, but I cannot prove it either way. Does it change the answer? Okay, well, it surely does. I feel like this feels right, but I can't prove. I'm not thinking through it enough. So I is the length of the max length or minimum length to have a pre-match. What does this mean? This means that there exists a prefix from here, right? But it has to be at least length I. So we only take the prefix that is less than I. That means that if set sub I is 5 and j is, if set sub I is say 5, what does that mean? That means that if you take 5 of I, if your j is past length I, then it is already a prefix. So it's something like, actually, if okay, so P2 match, maybe, I don't know, is equal to C sub I, right? Okay, so if set sub I is greater than I, then we're definitely good. But there's also a thing where if it's greater than, but we take fewer than I thinks is okay. So this is good. Or if we take fewer than, okay, so if set sub I is 5 and j takes more of it, then that's double counting. So that means that j has to be smaller than sub I. Oh, does it though? No, I mean, that would be great. Well, j has to be less than set sub I, but that's not what this thing is saying, right? Or I guess it's just that. I think it's just a combination of those things. So either this, or set sub I is less than I, or something like this. The annoying thing is that I can't really test this easily. Oh, this is just wrong still now. So, J is the length, right? So we print 1, 1, which means it does count. Right, 3, 2, 1 makes sense, and then now on here it's 2, 1, so we get 1, right? Set sub I is 2. That means that set sub I is greater than that, so set sub I should be set to min of I as well. Maybe. Because then now it means that, because J in this case is 1, and if it's 1, then it is less than the usage. I don't know. I think this is the part where I'm spending more time figuring out, so I feel like I want to I feel like it's worth YOLOing to get a wrong answer. I am gonna ask ChatGPT to kind of give it to me, though, and then see how it goes. Oh, right. I was like, what are you doing? Okay. But we don't need this, obviously. Give it 1. Okay, that looks what I expected. I do like to kind of just run it by real quick. I don't know, maybe I need to look at how many people got Q4? 2 people got Q4, so this does not look that great either. Is this with the new thing? I guess so. They're all the same. Okay, I mean, I am maybe gonna get a wrong answer, but that's okay. Let's give a YOLO submit. Oh, huh. Maybe this is a simpler answer too. I don't know, but definitely Python was too slow. Okay, let's actually I could YOLO. Oh wait, I didn't have it even. I'm curious whether the Python would have been fast enough. Probably not, right? I mean, we already kind of, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't waste time here on this, but I am just curious. Because this is basically the right answer. But as you can see, this is, like, I don't even feel like it's submitting it because it just has two inputs. It gives you 9 seconds. It's ridiculous. But okay, fine. Okay, let's just do Q4. Focus. You have, I mean, the only 3 views. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about today's problem, this contest, this explanation, everything in between. Stay good, stay healthy, to good mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye-bye.